What's up guys, I'm Soda Pop, this is the left pedal, and last week we got to hit the beach in a 2019 Ford Mustang GT. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Mustang's technical details and specs and see why the car performs the way it does. Should be a pretty fun episode, let's get into it. The 2019 Mustang we drove was a 6th generation model, meaning it's on the S550 chassis. It's pretty heavy for a performance car. The coupe weighs in around 3,700 pounds, with the convertible reaching near the 4,000 pound mark. At 188.5 inches long and 75.5 inches wide, it's almost exactly the same size as the Camaro, with the Mustang holding a slightly shorter wheelbase at 107 inches. The modern Mustang actually handles surprisingly well. With this generation, Ford made the decision to finally put an independent rear suspension in the Mustang, giving it a boost in handling over the previous models, which had solid rear axles. The traction control in the vehicle is good at its job and is balanced pretty evenly, with 53% of the weight up front and 47% in the rear. Despite being pretty close in weight to the Camaro SS, the Mustang actually felt like a much lighter car. It has a tipping point though. When pushed too hard, these cars break traction quickly and have a tendency to fishtail around the corners. The engine in the S550 Mustang GT is a 5-liter V8, a classic choice for a Mustang. It pushes 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, with the ability to propel the car from 0 to 60 miles an hour in just over 4 seconds. The Mustang's top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles an hour, and can run through the quarter mile in the 12 to 13 second range. The GT has low end torque when you need it, and redlines at 7,500 RPM. You can get a 6-speed manual or a 10-speed auto in the GT. The auto in our test car seemed a little reluctant, and to be honest, it kinda neutered the car. I think Ford is mostly just trying to keep drivers from killing themselves, or maybe it's just not a great transmission. I don't know, I don't work for Ford, but I highly suggest a stick shift. One thing I really enjoyed was the drag strip mode, which shows a little drag racing tree on the dash. The car instantly feels more aggressive, and there's a little drag racing tree on the dash. The brakes feature 4-piston calipers with 14-inch rotors in the front and 13-inch rotors in the rear, and I found them to be particularly impressive. The car can come to a complete stop from 60 miles per hour in barely over 110 feet. That's really good for a muscle car. The machine is very free-spirited. The Ford Mustang is one of those cars that doesn't really feel like anything else. The horse on the logo intentionally faces left because Ford didn't want it to be running in the same direction as a racehorse. The very nature of the car is to be a wild animal, and it excels at that task. I can't really tell you about long-term reliability on the S550s, but I can tell you that my older S197 was very good to me. My girlfriend's S197 had the automatic transmission blow up though. So once again, if you're thinking about getting a Ford Mustang, maybe consider the manual transmission. The one we drove last week was a GT Premium, which basically just means it's a GT with some extra luxury features. The interior was surprisingly refined, and the touchscreen infotainment system was easy to use. The knobs and switches in the S550 feel a lot higher in quality than in any Mustang ever, really. The interior feels secure and clarified. We're in the era of world-class muscle cars right now, and it's refreshing to sit in a Mustang that's not full of cheap plastic. As of right now, Ford no longer offers a V6 Mustang, and instead has introduced the EcoBoost. These are equipped with turbocharged 2.3-liter 4-cylinders, and have actually been well received. The EcoBoost can hit 60 in less than 6 seconds, which is faster than a lot of older V8s. The Mustang is one of those cars that's kind of controversial in the car community. The world of muscle cars is competitive, and we have a tendency to treat Ford, Dodge, and Chevy like football teams. But I think most muscle car fans can admit that it's hard not to have fun in a Mustang. This one felt more refined than my older S197 in basically every way. The Mustang has gone through some questionable phases in its lifetime, but Ford really seems to be headed in the right direction. It's a good car that feels on par with higher-end European vehicles. As always, thank you for watching, and a special thank you to all of our subscribers supporting us here at the Left Pedal. The numbers can only tell you so much, and in my opinion are less important than the way the car feels in the real world. If you want to see more about the actual driving experience of the car, make sure to check out the review video we did last week. I'm Soda Pop, this is the Left Pedal, and I will see you next time.